Hey guys, today is March 16th. It's the first time I've really gotten a chance to video the sap house. It's either I've been out splitting wood or bottling syrup or doing chores, or we've had visitors here or things like that. So I haven't had a chance to record. So I figured now will be a good chance to do like a rundown of how the evaporator here works. So we start off outside here with the sap on the trailer. I might get a chance to do a video collecting, but I'm not sure. So we got sap in that tank over there. Then we got a hose from this pump. We can suck it out of that tank there, or two holding tanks over here. And then it goes, we pump it up to this tank here. It's about 300 gallons. We can only fit about 250 in there. And you can see that pipe here, it goes through. I'll come through here and show you. Then that runs in there, and that's this hose coming through here. So as it goes in that pipe there, you open up this cover here, and you look up inside, and those pipes up there are a preheater. They get warmed up by all the steam in here. So then you got cold syrup here that goes through the preheater, and then it's hot coming out of the preheater through this tube. So then you have hot syrup hitting the boil, so you don't have cold syrup disrupting the boil. Then it hits this float and goes into the pan back here. Boils for a bit. So as it boils up there for a bit, it comes up to here. Then this runs through these little pipes and valves here. Comes into this float here. So it runs pretty slowly. I like to push it down a couple times, make sure there's no dirt in that float there. It doesn't get much there often. Beginning of the season, there's some more. Then it comes into this front pan here. When it runs into this front pan, there's holes in each end. Like it runs in that float there, then comes into the pan, runs to this end, there's a hole, then runs to that end, hole, then runs this end, then there's another hole in that divider, then runs into this box here. We have a thermometer. Once this gets up above 7, I say about 8 or 9, even 10 sometimes, then we draw it off. I'll show that in a bit. Once it gets there, I'll need to throw wood on in a minute, and then it'll get up there. So I just threw some of that wood over there on. Every 7 minutes, we have a timer going on our phones. Every 7 minutes, we'll throw that on. And this thermometer drops back down some when we open the door, because there's not so much heat. Now it climbs back up, and we will draw some of this off soon. I might need to change my filters, because I got 2 buckets here filling up. These are both filtered syrup on the cone filters. Then sometimes it doesn't filter all the way, so we have to dump it in there. Then we will do a batch of that syrup that's not filtered once already. We'll do that separate. We'll bottle it separate over here. So I didn't throw quite so much wood on this time, and I don't think it's gonna get up there. We don't draw off every single time we throw wood on. So some of this wood here that we're using is that stuff there's some ash. We just got split up. Over here is some pallet lumber and some crates from, we went to the equipment store over there. You can see the flatbed wagon. They loaded them up for us and we brought them over. Then we have this crate here. We're filling up cut pieces. Then over there's the crate we're cutting up now. Then here we got some wood we need to split. In the back there's some piled up that's split already. But that's what we're using. We got a bunch over here. Some of this over there is a little green yet. There's some apple in there. And here's some cherry. That'd be ready anytime. It just needs to get split and dry out some. But we've been busy doing this, so we haven't had much time to split. We were hoping we could split a bunch this fall, but with all that flooding and all that, we didn't really get a chance to. So my 7-minute timer just went off to load the fire. Right here we got this piece of rebarb. We made into like a stick. So what we do is we stir it up, stir the fire up some in the wood inside of there. That'll get it burning better and more room to put other wood. Now you just throw some wood in. I'll mix in some of those logs, and some of these pallets and crates. And we throw some old filters in there too. There, now we shut it and wait for the timer to go off again. So while I'm waiting for this to get up to the number for a bit, I figured I'll talk about bottling while I've got some time. So we got, as soon as we draw it off over here, or right out of these clean buckets over here, we'll dump it into here. This is the first finishing pan. Under here we got propane tanks here, and then some propane burners over there. This is the only thing that runs on propane here. So we'll fill this up. We'll get probably 6 to 10, maybe even 11 gallons in here. It'll boil for a bit, then we'll pull out this cup and fill it up. Except first you gotta pull something out of here we got in here. Might not be able to with one hand. Oh, here we go. This is what we call a syrup hydrometer. See if I can get that to focus here. So there's red lines here. One line is a hot line, one's a cold line. So you're testing the syrup viscosity, I believe. You want to get it here at that top red line at 59 bricks. So we'll fill that up and it'll float in there when it is boiling, when the syrup is hot. And then as soon as it gets done, or when it gets to that red line on that hydrometer, we'll hook up these hoses, one hose to the bottom of here, and we'll have filters here. This is what you call a filter press. It'll get pressed through the filters and back around, and it'll run into this pan here. This is the exact same as that one, just has one propane tank and burner on it. Right there you can see, and this is the one we bottle out of. We could bottle out of that one, just the way this works better bottling out of here. And if you look over here, got some empty jugs there. We'll fill up at some point. Bottled all this today, some of that tomorrow, or yesterday I meant. So we're at about 50 gallons so far bottled. So the temperatures here lately have been really hot and then really cold again. So we've got 2 weeks ago, 3 weekends ago I guess, at night it was 7 degrees I believe. The next weekend after that it was 70 degrees as a high. The 7 was as a low, 70 was as a high a week later. Then last weekend actually we got 6 inches of snow and had some 10 degrees as a low at night. Now we had 65 degrees and sun again today, so temperatures are all over. If the sap might be done running actually, like it'll be a very short season because it's not supposed to freeze again at night until Tuesday next week actually. So this side, or thermometers up here, getting up there over 7, so I'll start drawing it off, run it slow for a little bit, but I figured I'll talk about the temperatures while this is happening. So for the trees, for the sap to run in the trees, temperatures need to freeze at night. I figured about 28 degrees is perfect, maybe even 30 if it does get there for a decent amount of time. And it needs to be warm during the day, so about 50 degrees is pretty good temperature too. So that'll get the sap running good. but it's been 40 degrees at night, down to 10 the next night, and back to 40, and then 20 and 30 at night. So it's been all over the place. So we haven't had a steady sap run really. So another thing I want to talk about is the syrup. So a few of you ordered very dark syrup, a few of you ordered dark. So what the difference is there, I have this question often. What's the difference between dark and very dark? So the difference there is dark will be earlier in the season. Light will even come earlier in the season. We don't get much light syrup because we can't push it through the evaporator here as fast as some can. Some people that have an RO, or a reverse osmosis, that takes some water out of the sap so they don't have to boil it so long. The longer it boils, the darker it is. We'll get very dark later in the season. That very dark just basically has a stronger maple taste. I prefer that more. Some people prefer the light more. The light syrup will make better maple candy and maple cream, things like that. So up here we got our samples. This was the very first sample here. Shine up to the light and you can see in there. This is the very first bottle this year. It's fairly light, but it'll still grade as dark. And then we'll get another one here. This is from today. Still light again. Here, I'll show you one from last year now. So I believe this is last year's over here. We'll get one here. So this stuff in the bottom, I don't know if you can see. There's sugar sand. I'm not too sure what that is. I haven't figured that out yet. My dad knows more about it, but hold that up to the light. You can see that's a lot darker. That was later in the season too. This very dark syrup, we'll probably be able to get some later. Just may be a while, so those of you who ordered some, it'll come later. Just heads up. And I've been busy. Even the dark orders, I've had a hard time. I haven't had quite as much time to get ready, but hopefully this week we won't be boiling because the temperatures are so high. Sap won't be running, so we won't have to boil, so I'll be able to pack orders. So I believe that's everything here in the sap house. If you have questions, you can put them in the comments or shoot me an email. My email's in the description there. So yeah, I think that's everything. Other than that, I might do a video on collecting. I'm not sure. If I get the chance, I might. That'll be it for the video. A little shorter video, but just a rundown of how things are going here. We actually have about, let's see, probably 700 gallon at least to get through outside. We're gonna do some tonight, some tomorrow during the day too. My dad was boiling till 2 in the morning. Today, last night into today, so we had a lot of sap to get through, so he was doing that. So yeah, that'll be it for the video, and thanks for watching. If you want to order syrup, you can check the link in the description. You can do that. So yep, we'll see you next time.